NBA Straya. Yeah, the man from Creta. There we go. NBA Straya, it is Tuesday, May 7, all day, and I'm your host, James Clements. You can see me on the official AFL Supercoach podcast, the AFL Today Show, all the good stuff right there. Here in the fancy studio today, loving this. It's Tuesday. Wearing my sick Cobra Kai t-shirt. Wearing a hat for the first time in a while. Anyway, this is episode 1091 of NBA Straya. We had one sick game today and then one that made you feel sick because Denver were that bloody bad. Also, the Rookie of the Year was announced. How fun was that? Wembanyama! In a shock to absolutely nobody. We're going to wrap up those two games in the game wraps because that's what we do here. We also have an Andrew Gay's Graham Umber Award, which is also fun. But also, there's all the usual stuff. That's an iPhone made. No made, Spud of the night, better than Lonzo Ball. The Yeah Nars, the Unpopular Opinion of the Day, and Outback Takehouse, where we're serving up a flame grilled take. There's no Aussies today. What's up with that? They're playing against each other. It's sort of weird and sucky, but here we are. But we will pick and preview the two games tomorrow as well at the end of the show. Very fun gear. We'll also make the predictions for those series because it's OKC versus Dallas and stuff. So there's lots of stuff going on. Without further ado then, let's get into it. Episode 1091, as I said, of NBA Australia. Let's play well go!
This is Joe Ingles, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
Ah, you better. Chuck was making some funny jokes today. My favorite thing about Shaq is when Chuck makes him laugh, like it's over. Like it's just over, right? Like Chuck's like, oh, Chuck, you ain't got no range, but funny, Chuck. That was funny. And like, Shaq holds his hand like he's just like, I don't know what to do with my giant bonce. Like I need to maybe balance myself out a little bit. I'm feeling a bit weird. I'm feeling a bit wobbly. It's all very strange. And that's when you know Shaq has been tickled pink. Like he's just like, yes, Chuck, you nailed that one. I am just like, at this point though, watching Inside the NBA because at this point we're getting lots of it, which is very fun. At the same time, God, Kenny sucks. He's just, what are we doing? Anyway, let's start today's show the way we start every show here in NBA Show with a daily. It's a whip around. I've gotten very adept, producer homie, of getting the whip crack sound back. I'm very proud of myself. It took months of rehab to get that back after my surgery back in January, I'll tell you. Anyway, let's do it. The Rookie of the Year, Wembanyama. He won. Can we fire it up? Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding. Oh, duh! Of course he won. He became the 6th unanimous Rookie of the Year winner. We also had almost a unanimous runner-up in Chet Holmgren. But some absolute morons like, you know who actually had a better year? And it's like, nah, shut up, nerd, because they didn't. He's like, no, Brandon Miller did. Wrong! Brandon Miller did not have a better year than Chet Holmgren by any fucking stretch of the imagination. This is what we're going to talk about in the Unpopular Opinion of the Day a little bit later because that's just egregious. And dumb shit like this keeps happening in these award votes. But either way, it was nice to see that Jaime Jaquez got a little bit of love. You had a couple of other ones, other names out there getting the sort of third place votes. But obviously Wemby and Chet led all rookie voters because they were the two best rookies of the year. Wembanyama, insane. 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds a game, 3.9 assists, 3.6 blocks. 53 burgers, 55 cokes, 55. Like that's basically, you just start rattling off his goddamn stats and it's ridiculous. Also the second rookie ever to lead the NBA in blocks. Dude can play a little bit. It's not bloody bad, huh? So that's good. Also the first, well, we've got a couple of other stats going on for our man Wemby a little bit later. Hashtag spoiler alert. It's part of the, what is it? The NBA Straya Andrew Gay's Graham Umber Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Because you can just start rattling off Wemby shit and you're like, yeah, that's pretty bloody good. Oh, God, no one else has ever done that. It's pretty good. Hey, Jimmy Butler. Pat Riley had some interesting things to say about Jimmy Butler today, didn't he? That was fun. Well, we're going to sign him. Don't know. We haven't discussed that internally right now. We have to look at making that kind of commitment when we do it. We don't have to do it until 2025. I love it when teams are like, no. Well, we don't actually have to extend anybody until their contract's like, about to expire. It's like, yeah, but teams usually do. So here we are. But we'll see. We haven't made a decision on it. We haven't really in earnest discussed it. That's a big decision on our part to commit those kind of resources unless you have somebody who's going to be there and available every single night. Oh, rut-row, Jimmy Butler. Do you reckon Jimmy Butler is going to be like, Tobias Harris over me to the Heat? I don't know. Not Tobias Harris. Jimmy Butler has got a lot of just chutzpah and a lot of absolute fuck you swagger about him for a bloke who has, well, remember, check notes, won nothing ever. Hasn't made an All-NBA first team. Hasn't won a playoff, won the finals. Like, what are we doing here? He's made 2 finals, radical. Cool. You're Clyde Drexler before he goes to join Hakeem. Anyway, pretty brutal, but still, interesting gear from Pat Riley. It's just Pat Riley throwing his giant old loaf on the table and going, how do you like that, Jimmy Butler? You know who I've negotiated against? Fucking Magic Johnson, bro. Ever heard of him? What about Patrick Ewing, mate? Ever heard of fucking them? Alonzo Mourning, he will come in here and bash you because I fucking told him so, mate. I fucking told him. I negotiated all with Alonzo Mourning across his entire career, mate. I will get him to fuck you up. So, yeah, Pat Riley, not going to back down. He fucking talked LeBron James out of town. He first signed LeBron James by throwing his giant old loaf on the table, and then talked him to go back to fucking Cleveland. He's like, stop being a fucking sook, man up, or fuck off. And LeBron's like, all right, I'll fuck off. Pat Riley, what a fucking pair of cojones on that dude. I love it. Anyway, and speaking of cojones, the Dallas Mavericks organization, God, they're in a rush to give Jason Kidd a bit of money when they abruptly fire him halfway through next season because they extended him. Amazing gear. I did have, I believe, Danny Drosher maybe, sent me through the message of like, gee, it's going to be funny when they extend him to keep him from the Lakers. And I'm like, yes. And then they did because he's been thrown about in these Lakers rumors. And if the Lakers were like, you know who could fix all of these problems? Jason Kidd. Congratulations, Mavericks. You played yourself. You've won the right to pay out Jason Kidd even more money when you fire him next year because it'll happen. Like, they'll start shit. The rumblings will happen. It might be Jason Kidd's fault. Unless they win the title this year, then he's a made man. We'll get to that in year nars. Anyway, let's do some game wraps because that's about it, I think, for the news. We'll just check to see if there was anything else that popped off late. Rudy Gobert missed today's game because he's having a kid. Well, his wife, his missus is. Presumably his missus. Could be just some random. I don't know. I'm not, into the intimate details of Rudy Gobert's relationship. But still, the point is he had to go miss today's game for the birth of his first child. And it is always interesting when you see this on the internet, homie. They're just like, oh, I wouldn't miss that. It's like, no, you fucking would. Because you know what you have to deal with? A lifetime of wrath from your missus. And then when the kid finds out, the kid's like, actually, fuck you, you tall French fuck. I hate ya. And that's coming from some half French 5-year-old, It's like, oh, father, I hate you so fucking much for not being at my birth. My mother hates you. I hate you now. Fuck you, you giant French fuck. That's how it's going to go. But yeah, you got to do it. Why wouldn't you be there? Good on you, Rudy. I appreciate that. The coolest thing was, when we get to the game wraps, they fucking shit pumped him anyway. But before that, let's do some game wraps. Game wraps. Indy, 117. The New York Knickerbockers of New York City, 121. Geez, Jim, that's a bit bloody close. You're not bloody wrong. This game was fucking sick. And then the refs decided to fuck it all up for everybody. And this is kind of my point. They fucked it up for everybody because this game was radical all the way through until basically the last 5 minutes when the refs are like, all right, this is enough fun basketball. Fuck you, you're cool, fuck you. That's what they did. It was some bullshit. Indy got screwed. I feel like the Knicks also had some fucky stuff. It was just a bit shit, probably more so on the Pacers stuff. But this is the big problem. I don't want to be sitting here in the playoffs going, gee, I can't wait for the last 2-minute report to come out to see how many times the refs fucked up. That sucks. Can we just not do that? I hate talking about refs. I hate it on the AFL show. I hate it on this show. Anyway, this game was radical. First half was the tale of the benches. The Pacers bench was awesome. First half, I think it was 27 points between McConnell, Benny Shepherd, Isaiah Jackson, the other Jackson 5 member, homie. That's who it was, yeah. the lesser known one. It's like Tito, Michael, and then like fucking little Isaiah. He was the smallest. But Miles Turner was getting going early as well. Siakam started like 0 of 4. Halliburton hit a massive 3 at the end of the second quarter to put them up 9. And then Isaiah Hartenstein, hello. And you're like, fucking hell. The Knicks have cooked this. How are they down 9? Isaiah Hartenstein, the big lumbering fucking gawky looking center for the Knicks, just dropped in a 3 from half court. And you're like, oh, fuck, they needed that. Turns out when you win a game by 4 total points in the end, you really did. So that actually kind of kept them right there in it. And it's weird when you're like, oh, it's not good when you need an Isaiah Hartenstein half-court fucking 3 to like stay in a game at home in game 1 of round 2 of the playoffs. But here we are. But the Knicks did get rolling at the start of the third quarter. And you're like, all right, this sort of seems like it's making sense, right? Siakam had been shut down the first half. He got going a little bit, but the Knicks offense woke up. And then Indy rip off this 10-0 run towards the back end of the third quarter. And again, it was their fucking bench. TJ McConnell ain't no stopping. Obi Toppin. He's out there doing between-the-leg dunks, homie. In a fucking playoff game on the road. It was sick. It was so fucking fun. But, again, the Knicks somehow, so after like basically dragging it all back to like pretty level playing field, they give up this 10-0 run, Indy get back up, and then they stay up because Miles Turner hits a massive 3 at the end of the third quarter where it was like a 2-point game. And you're like, look, the Knicks will talk themselves into this. Then suddenly it's a 5-point break going into the fourth. And then OG, Toppin start trading threes. The Pacers bench was just fucking shredding. And the biggest question down the stretch was like, I feel like you should play your best player, Indiana. TJ McConnell, your backup point guard, the little white guy. Like, what a world. Here we are. But it was gnarly. Like, the Pacers got up 9. The Garden was dead. There was 10 minutes to go in this game. Like, they had just murderated the MSG. It was fucking awesome. You know me. I hate the Knicks fans. Hate the Sixers fans. I hate all the fans. No, I love all the fans. But it is hilarious when you go to somewhere like MSG and quieten the crowd and you're TJ fucking McConnell. That is awesome. 1 minute later, however, because the Pacers, I think, had a dead ball turnover, well, a dead ball foul before the ball had been inbounded. There's a free throw. Brunson hits another couple of free throws. There's a sick Josh Hart dunk. And literally a minute later, Madison Square Garden is up and about going, fucking yes, we're back, baby. You're like, that's how you do it. It was an 8-0 run that they ripped off because Donte DiVincenzo hit a 3 as well. Boom. It's a 1-point fucking game. And you're like, yeah, I guess you could say the Knicks are back. Naismith had a sick dunk and then another layup. Like, Naismith was dunking on everybody. He put the other Mitch Robinson into the fucking dirt. It's like, hey, kids, want to see a dead body? There he is. It's Mitch Robinson. Jesus. But they got back up 5 after Naismith hits a layup. Brunson, though, just goes, all right, fucking, I guess I'll kick some ass and take some names and win us this game. And you're like, that's a fucking nice thing to have. Because then Brunson just goes apeshit. He hits a jumper, gets another one. He goes past 30 with like this twisty layup, then goes on to score another 13 points after that direct moment. That seems like a lot, homie, because it is. It was nuts. He scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. At that point, you're taking the piss. But 6 minutes left. The Knicks defense just kept letting them down. Like the Pacers were scoring a will in the paint. And then there was an incredible 4-point play by Josh Hart. Not in the traditional sense of a 4-point play where you hit a 3 and then get fouled, make the free throw. No, Josh Hart went, hey, I'm going to get an and 1. I'm going to hit this shot. I'm going to get fouled. I'm going to miss the free throw, get my own rebound and put it back up and in. That's 4 points. That was fucking awesome in like no time and gone off the clock. Incredible gear by Josh Hart. He was fantastic all game. There was a great meme. There's like, the big pile of dirt and there's the dude just like running into it, just punching it and beating the shit out of it, then throwing like a fucking spade at it, a shovel, a fucking entire wheelbarrow, and he just keeps punching it. It's like, that's how Josh Hart gets rebounds. It's like, yes, that's the greatest meme I've ever seen. Anyway, back and forth the rest of the way. It's like 1:15, 40 seconds left. Donte DiVincenzo comes out of nowhere, smashes a massive 3. Then we've got the weird kickball, the challenge, the fuck up, the Brunson foul as well, where he slaps the I think, to be honest, I kind of think that was a sick block, personally. But then Brunson throws the ball out of bounds onto the Pacers player who was inbounds. Brunson was out of bounds, and the ball hits him on the rebound. Sucked in. Like, that is just some karma shit. It's like, that's fucking nuts. He tried to turn it over before that as well, then did turn it over. But Indy, then there's the moving screen, the KG moving screen called on Miles Turner, and one of the more egregious, what the fuck was that call, refs, you'll ever see. My little theory on this, producer homie, is that Adam Silver, we all know him. Yes, Jimmy, what can I do for you? Adam Silver was sitting in the crowd going, just the cutting throat fucking thing to the refs going, you better fucking let these Knicks win because I am negotiating a media rights deal right now and I need Boston versus Knicks in the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. Make it fucking happen, refs. So, yeah, just saying. What I mean, just saying, I'm really saying. He's like, hey, if you don't call some sort of egregious foul on the Pacers in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to have you all killed. It's like, all right, good job, Adam Silver. Anyway, so Brunson hits all his free throws and God damn it, Indy. Don't foul when the ball hasn't been inbounded. They did it again. Brunson's got 3 free throws out of nowhere. They go up 4. Indy can't get that last 3 to go. Game over. Back her up, boys. Knicks, MSG, just all in a lather. They win at 121-117. The Pacers moved the ball amazingly. They had 32 assists, only 7 turnovers. They were scoring in the paint at will. Siakam got going late. He had 19, 6 and 5. 6 points, though, for Tyrese Halliburton, who just he looks a shell of himself. He has for, a big bunch of this season, obviously, but geez, it's a worrisome moment. We're like, didn't he used to be good this year? What the fuck is going on? Miles Turner at 23 and 3. I love that. Could have used 3 more rebounds, just saying, Miles. Not for nothing. Naismith had 12. Nembhard at 11, but really the bench. It was awesome. 18 points for TJ McConnell. 8 points for Ben Shepherd. Isaiah Jackson, the smallest of the Jackson 5, 8 points as well. And ain't no stopping. Obi Toppin, he had 12 points. 6 rebounds, 3 assists against his old team. You love to see that. They shot 52% and lost. That's a kick in the dick, isn't it? 10 of 26 from downtown. They didn't take that many threes, and this is the thing. You don't have Benny Mathurin. You don't have Buddy Hield anymore. But it does, I think we broke this down in the series preview, right? There's a simple idea that Indy will have a game where they just hit every 3. They'll hit 23s, and you're like, fucking hell. How do you guard against that? The answer is you can't. But the Knicks have to win shit games like this where they don't kind of have in the first half, and then Dante DiVincenzo goes fucking bang. Jalen Brunson goes bang, and they steal it. So, speaking of which, Brunson, 43 points. Josh Hart, 24. Dante DiVincenzo, 25. That's right, the Nova boys out there. 92 points between them. Not bloody bad. 43, 6 and 6 for Jalen Brunson. He was incredible. He's going to pop up again later. Spoiler alert. Hart had 24, 13 rebounds and 8 assists. God, he's awesome. 2 steals. Dante goes 5 and 9 from downtown. The OG Anunoby had 13, 9 and 4. Did a good job on Siakam for a big chunk of this, but it's weird. Both centers on either side, right? You'd sort of look at them, go the other. Mitch Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, Miles Turner. Good rim protectors, ideally. But then you're like, there's a lot of points being scored in the paint here, isn't there? This isn't very good. That will probably tighten up. But for today, it was weird as hell. Points in the paint, it was 64-58, which is just pretty fucking wild. But anyway, 3 points off the bench for the Knicks bench. Amazing gear, considering that the Pacers bench had 46. When your bench outscores the other team by 40-3, you should probably win that game, Pacers. They got dogged by the refs. Their Knicks are kissed on the dick. We all know that. Amazing gear, though. They won that game. Jalen Brunson went out and went, see this? I got the biggest schlong here. Bang, and off it goes. Loved it. And hit all the shots. All of them. On top of that, though, those fucking just giant stones of his, they're the size of fucking boulders. To hit all those free throws. Indy can fuck up, right? Get a tech foul because they foul before the fucking ball is inbounded. They do it twice. Just dumb shit. But it's still on Jalen Brunson to go up there and hit all those free throws, and he fucking did. So, Knicks lead, 1-0. Amazing gear. This series should be very, very fun. They're actually bringing Reggie Miller onto that broadcast for the next game too, which is in parts infuriating and also kind of cool because he's shithouse. Right. Oh, they actually do have look, League Pass as a product, it has a lot of problems. I think we all understand that. But what they have managed to do on the odd occasion is for the game breaks and shit like that, when they do the old-timey NBA highlights, every time they show the Reggie Miller 8 points, 30 seconds, whatever, it's just the greatest because you just watch that old MSG crowd. You watch Reggie and his stupid fucking floppy arms and his big, dumb, fucking alien-looking head. You're like, yes, this is awesome 90s basketball. Anyway, Knicks lead 1-0. Going out west, way out west, where oh God, the Nuggets are in a tailspin. That's right, the Minnesota Timberwolves win this one 106-80. It wasn't even that close. But Jim, that's 26 points. Yes, it wasn't that. This was a shit pumping of the highest. Whew. That sound you heard was me pouring one out, I think, for the Nuggets title chances. I've been on them all season. And then you watch a game like this, you're like, oh, not with a banged-up Jamal Murray, not with a banged-up KCP, and absolutely no fucking depth that they trust. Mate, they might be cooked. Especially against this Wolves team. Why is that? Ant-Man, Jaden McDaniels. No Rudy Gobert today. No problem. Cat steps up with 27 and 12. Offensively, that's exactly what they needed today because, look, Ant-Man was just kind of pretty chill early on, and then he just fucking brought out the kill shot and was like, brap, brap, brap. He's not Ja Morant. Everybody slow down. But still, like, they didn't need Mike Conley to save them this time. Naz Reid was fucking fantastic. But I think my biggest question going into this series was Minnesota's offense. Will it stand up against this Denver Nuggets defense? And so far, yes, it really has. Because the Nuggets offense has fallen completely the fuck apart because Jamal Murray can't hit a goddamn shot. And Nikola Jokic is like, yeah, so do I want to ride horses? What the fuck doing playing basketball? His basketball is fucking shit, mate. Fucking shit. He's so angry all the time as well. I love it. He's just like, this is just, I want to ride horses. I want to fucking not play basketball. I'm just annoyed. And his accent changed about 5 times during that little bit, but still. There was a moment. It was 28-20 after the first quarter. And you're like, Denver will be fine. Narrator, they were not fine. It was like 28-20. And then you turn around, it's like 39-20. You're like, that's a pretty big hole. Shit. It's like looking at the Grand Canyon. You're like, oh, it's a pretty big hole there. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the Nuggets missing 11 straight shots was not something I had on the bingo card. Michael Porter Jr., shit. Jamal Murray, shit. KCP, pretty shit. Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP, about to win his 3rd. Is he going to get the curse of Dirk Nowitzki after, 07? Dirk wins the MVP, gets blasted in the first round by the We Believe Warriors. Jokic is going to get his 3rd MVP like next week, and they could have just been swept by the Wolves. That would be fucking brutal. Anyway, the thing that really killed them was the turnovers. They had so many fucking turnovers. Jokic had 4 points, 4 assists, and 3 turnovers in the first quarter. Jokic was really, really limited by Karl Anthony Towns and Naz Reid. It was weird to see it happen, but they've just got so much fucking length that they throw at the guy that he's like, yes, I make decision. Oh, shit, they steal the ball again. He's bullshit fucking. And 20 points for Cat, 16 for Ant in the first half. And as I said, Ant-Man didn't really, seem like he was asserting himself too much, and then it's just like, holy fucking shit, he's taken over this game. But he's only ended up with 23 points or whatever the fuck, 27. Because by the time it gets to the halftime point, the Nuggets had 35 points. The offense completely fell apart. Why is that, Jim? This defense. This fucking defense. They absolutely broke down every single little bit that the Nuggets wanted to do. The Wolves are like, we don't have Rudy Gobert. You might have heard of him. He's won shit tons of Defensive Player of the Year awards. Doesn't matter. We are fucking keyed in today, mate. This could be a bit of an Outback Takehouse, but our coach is overrated? Possibly. Chris Finch is over there on the fucking sideline with his busted-ass knee, not doing shit. And they're like, cool. It's like when you have a substitute teacher. You're like, this is great. Let's muck up. And then you're like, oh, do we have a test coming up? It's like if you did that and you're like, we all need to learn. It's fucking weird. They fucking killed them on D. 35 points for the Nuggets in the first half. 35. Absolute chaos gear. Completely took them out of their rhythm. Completely took them out of all of their happy places. It didn't matter what it was. It was like on ISOs, on pick and rolls. They were just like clamps. You want me to use these clamps? These fucking clamps that I use every day of my life? You're a freaking idiot, you freaking moron. They shut them down. Between Ant-Man, McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, Mike Conley on the perimeter, Cat in the middle doing a manful job against Jokic. It was awesome. Then there's the unsung hero of all this, Nicky Alexander-Walker. God, he was good. He had 14 points, hit 4 of 7 threes. He was unreal, making life hell for everybody. God, this Wolves team is amazing. Their defense is just suffocating. It just puts you in a fucking chokehold. Go to sleep, go to sleep. And the Nuggets scored 80 points for the game. That's right. Your world champion, NBA world champion, Denver Nuggets. 34.9%. That's right. The Nuggets shot 35% from the floor, 9 of 30 from downtown. They had 16 turnovers, brutal gear. Got to the line 18 times. Joker ends up with 16, 16, and 8. Not good. 20 and 4 for Aaron Air Gordon. If Aaron Air Gordon's scoring a shit ton, you're either in a lot of problems or you've won the game. That's how the Nuggets roll, right? It's found money buckets. That's what Aaron Gordon is. Jamal Murray, 8 points on 18 shots. Yeah, just throw up in your mouth a little bit there. MPJ, 4 of 12 for 9 points, 1 of 7 from deep. Everybody was shit. 13 points for Juzzy Holiday. I do love that they talked him up at the end of the broadcast because Reggie Jackson had an injury. And they're like, oh, he might be important. It's like, if Justin Holiday's important, you're fucked. It's simple as that. My favorite thing is like, oh, should they play DeAndre Jordan? I don't think old-ass DeAndre Jordan is going to help. They don't have their Naz Reid, right? Like just the extra sort of weird swing big who can play a bit of the 4-5 no matter who's next to him. And it's like, we'll play Zeke Naji. And they kind of did. It did not help. Spoiler alert. For the Wolves, as mentioned, 27 and 7 for Ant-Man. He was unreal. 10 and 15 for Cat with 27 and 12. Fantastic Karl Anthony Towns game. Really good on defense as well. 6 points for Kyle Anderson. Jaden McDaniels, 5 points. Doesn't matter because he's just a fucking defensive maestro. 4 points for Conley. But it was Naz Reid, right? 14 and 5. Just did not miss a beat from his absolute killer fourth quarter the other day in game 1. And 14, as I mentioned, for Nicky Alexander-Walker. This was a demolition on the road against the defending NBA champions who were 33 and 8 at home this season. That is awesome. The Wolves now lead 2-0, and the Nuggets could get swept. Let's do an NBA Australia Approved Performance of the Night. Oh, yes, mate.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Jalen Brunson had 21 points in the fourth quarter. I mentioned that, right? 43 total. He was awesome. Did it all. Absolutely fantastic fucking game. Jalen Brunson is a weapon. Bit of a grifter when it comes to some of these fouls, but God, he battles so hard. And it is the heart, forgive the Knicks pun, but it's the grit, the determination. He's basically a New York deli. Now, there was a New York deli around the corner from my old apartment, homie. They had a cat. I love a good bodega cat. He was fantastic. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. But they did the best goddamn sandwiches ever. Because every New York deli just does the best goddamn sandwiches you ever had. Because usually when you go in there and like, fuck, I go a sandwich, you're shit-faced. And you're like, this sandwich is fucking good. Anyway, Jalen Brunson, you're taking the piss with this. 43, 6 and 6, 14 to 26 from the floor, 14 to 14 in the line, only 1 of 4 from downtown. But goddamn, he just took the Pacers' heart, absolutely Carly marred them. Boom. Ripped in, jumped, put the hand through the fucking chest, tore out their still beating heart. Love a good Carly Mar reference. And then, of course, Ant-Man. Why did he get the NBA Australia Approved Performance of the Night, Jim? He had 27 points. Karl Anthony Towns had that. Ant-Man went, oh, this is kind of fun how you're doing a little bit of a run in the fourth quarter. Let me give you the Jordan shrug. I'm going to hit a 3 in your face and then give it the Jordan shrug. It was absolutely awesome. Ant-Man, you super duper star. But what about Spud of the Night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the Night.
Spud of the Night. That would be Jamal Murray because he was shithouse. Sometimes you're carrying an injury. Sometimes you're just like, fuck, God, it's hard to play basketball against these guys because they're longer and taller and awesome. And 8 points. On 3 of 18 shooting. Jesus. 0 of 4 from downtown. 13 rebounds, not bad. 2 assists, sure. 4 turnovers. Blah. This was the Jam Jamal Murray, just take a shit in your pants kind of game. Not great. Not great. It's something like Jam Jamal Murray was incredible against the Lakers. Some of the memes about it's like, Jamal Murray against the Lakers. It's like the picture of the dude who sent me a picture of the Brazilian Ben Simmons. It's like this dude in an airport just looks like a Brazilian version of Ben Simmons. Oh, speaking of which, Ben Simmons, Met Gala shit. That was fucking hilarious. I'm going to talk about that in 1 second because that's going to be old mate, no mates. But don't think I've forgotten about it. But Jam Jamal Murray, 3 of 18. Michael Porter Jr., 4 of 12. You're at home, Nuggets. You're at home. You can't have your 2 other best players go 7 of 30. I'm no math magician, producer homie, but 7 of 30 is carry the 6 times by shit. It's just shit. You can't do that and expect to win another fucking title. But more than anything to me, this just speaks of just how fucking hard it is to win an NBA title right now. Because, we love dynasties, man. We fucking love dynasties. Yeah, you know how fucking hard it is to win a title, right? You got to play 82 games of regular season. You got to play another 16 games at the very fucking least to get through. So you're playing 100 games in a season. You're playing through to June. You're cooked. Some of you dudes then might play some FIBA gear. You got to come back, do it all again. It's fucking hard. And when the Denver Nuggets are like, Bruce Brown, we can't afford him. Jeff Green, can't afford him. When you just have like your depth just shredded, and then suddenly you got 2 half injuries with Jam Jamal Murray and the notorious KCP, this is what happens. You go down 0-2 in the second round. Is it all over? Listen to Nas in a second. Who's old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? Ben Simmons. Box Hill Benny. Rocked up to the fucking Met Gala looking like a Doctor Who character mixed with a steampunk thing and got clowned on by everybody. That is an old mate, no mates moment where you've got like a clock in your weird briefcase thing. And I literally had to go, which joke do I use first? Because I have many. My favorite one, though, was amount of time spent working a clock into your Met Gala outfit, 23 days and 17 hours or whatever the fuck I wrote. Time spent working on your jump shot, 0. It's like, where do your priorities lie at this point? Jim, can't he go and have fun? Of course he fucking can. But not when you're carrying a back injury and then you sook your way out of Philly, do fuck all for the next couple of years in Brooklyn, and also just dog Australia. You know? Sucked in. You're fair game at this point. You're doing it to yourself. It's like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. I do love that people are, he should come to the NBL. You know how much more you'd hate Ben Simmons if he was like loafing around in the NBL? Just saying. Also, he's still getting paid by the NBA. Old mate, no mates. Also, the Pacers versus the refs. That was every Pacers fan out there. All 8 of them should be ropeable. Like the kickball that wasn't, the Brunson foul on Turner. Look, I still reckon that was a pretty fucking gnarly block. Incidental contact. He did block the shit out of the ball. And then obviously late, the Miles Turner thing was just egregious. The Pacers got fucked. You get that on the big jobs. Pantsing of the night. That would be when Naismith put Mitch Robinson in the fucking dirt and slapped him in the head at the same time. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible how Naismith absolutely yammed on him. And also as he sort of came down, slapped him in the back of the head. Go, what are you doing again? It was awesome. And Obi Toppin, between the legs dunk during a playoff game against your old team, that's a bit of a pantsing. But the real pantsing then happened to Obi Toppin because you fucking lost the game. You can't have a between your legs dunk and lose the game. Them's the rules. Just saying. Finally, better than Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody with the better than Lonzo Ball today is TJ motherfucking McConnell. That's his full name, producer homie. TJ, it stands for total ginormous dick McConnell. There we go. Ginormous doesn't start with a J. I'm just fucking around with it. But he was incredible today. Like, even though the Pacers lose that game, it was absolutely no fault of TJ McConnell. 22 minutes, He shot 9 of 16. He had 18 points, 3 assists, 3 steals, and was a +9 in a game they lost by 4. TJ McConnell, you're a fucking legend. That was awesome. Should have been the TJ McConnell game. Instead, it was once more the Jalen Brunson game and also the refs. All right, let's do some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. Some yeah-nahs. Some tasty ones today, I'll tell you. Brought to you by the NBA Australia shop. Get your merch, get your merch. What is it? NBAaustralia.com/shop. Click through on the socials. The nice pretty pictures are all there. Get a t-shirt, get a hoodie. I was actually wearing the hoodie this morning because it was bloody cold. And also, the 5-year-old squid woke up at 5 a.m., 5:05, whatever the fuck it was. He's like, Dad, I'm lonely. All right, just get into fucking bed with us, buddy. And then proceeded to lay there asleep, snoring his ass off. And I'm like, this is just horrible. So I got up way early. Had the NBA Australia hoodie. I'm like, God, this is nice and warm. Anyway, you can get I've got the coffee mug right here as well. I'm doing a great job. And the stubby holders. It's all the good stuff. Getting right around it. All right, let's do some yeah-nahs. Dan Drosher, yeah-nah, is Dallas winning against the Clippers the worst outcome for them because now they have to extend Jason Kidd? Yeah, they did. That sucks unless they win the title. The problem is you don't really quite see this Dallas team winning the title just yet, but I'll get to that in a second. It was hilarious, though, because literally my first instinct was, well, they just added more zeros to the payout that they'll give him when they fire his ass for not being a very good coach. He might, however, have just sort of lucked into something that's kind of worked when they've traded for PJ Hamilton, Washington, and Daniel Gafford. It might save his job for another year if they win the title, of course. But still, yeah, it's pretty weird. Jace Walters, if Luka doesn't sook it up and Kyrie doesn't become dickhead of the week, can the Mavs go all the way? Yeah, nah. Not with the way that Minnesota are fucking playing. Minnesota are currently dismantling the Denver Nuggets, and it's just like, shit. They're awesome. To the point where you go, hang on, does Frank Vogel in Phoenix keep his job? Because yes, they got swept by Minnesota, but Minnesota also might sweep Denver. At which point Matt Ishbia is going to be like, hang on, so maybe we're not that shit. Maybe Minnesota are just fucking incredible, which is entirely possible at this point. God damn. Anyway, but look, Minnesota, if they do have that sort of offensive drop-off that I was sort of looking at prior to the series, if Dallas can put up a good fight against OKC and if they can show us more of that defense that we saw last time out against this broken-ass Clippers team, Dallas could. Because if Minnesota get into a little bit more of a dogfight, maybe drop 1 or 2 of these games at home against Denver, then it could be on for young and old. That could happen. Denver are fucking awesome. Nikola Jokic, don't doubt him. But this was the most shooketh I've ever seen Denver, basically since they got fucking rolled by Golden State in 2022. So it's a weird situation where Dallas could somehow back their way into a Western Conference Finals and give themselves a bit of a shot, which would be kind of fun and hilarious for the amount of shit I've talked about them this year. Daryl Morey says that there's going to be big changes in Philly. Yeah, nah. Oh, dude. Ring, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Pull my other leg. It plays Alex Lloyd's amazing. We all get it. The biggest question is whether or not there's a move out there that can put the Sixers over the top. And to be honest, the funniest one would be bringing Jimmy Butler back. Tobias Harris over me. I love the idea of Jimmy Butler back in the Sixers. God, that would be fucking funny. Paul George, though, as I've sort of said, he is the world's greatest second or third banana where he doesn't quite realize it and he still thinks he's playoff P. He next to Embiid and Maxey, where Maxey's actually the 1A, sucked in everybody. Kind of like that. But also Jimmy Butler would be fucking fun. Hey, also, finally, Denver cooked. Yeah, nah. Nah, look, they probably are a bit cooked just because of these injuries to Jam and Jamal Murray, to KCP. Because without that depth, they just don't have the Bruce Brown guy to plug the gaps. They don't have the El Jefe Green to go, hey, Jeff Green, can you just score us fucking, 8 points tonight? And he's like, sure, I guess I can do that. I'm Jeff Green. I'm older than fucking sin, but I can sort this out for you. Denver don't have those dudes. Like, it's not the Peyton Watsons of the world who are going to do it for them. They do need a little bit of that out of the Peyton Watson and Christian Brown types. If they can get a little something out of them on the road, but they just got nothing from them at home and they lost those games. So it feels like they might be a bit cooked. Like, I went into this game expecting a better showing from Denver than when we got. So now I'm a little bit gun shy. Now I feel like Minnesota might just fucking curb stomp them and sweep them. And it's usually to do with the injuries, usually to do with the slowing down of the rest of your team because you're very thin. You don't have a backup big man. They might be cooked. I'm going to say yeah. All right, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me, look at me, look at me. I don't think local media should vote in awards. I don't know if that's unpopular, but it's fucking weird. Like when Brandon Miller somehow gets a vote over Chet Holmgren in Rookie of the Year, you got to go, what are you doing? Like what did you see? Is it just like an actual sort of, because I don't think Chet ended up third on that ballot either, right? Like at some point you're just going to go, I think you might be taking the piss. So like it's just fucking weird. And like, I don't get it. And it happens all the time where it's like, oh, well, he's on my team, so he's going to get my vote. That's not exactly – what I'm trying to say is I should be the one person who votes on all the awards. Just saying. That made Homie laugh, so, like, I'm here for it. Let's go. Look, if you're going to make me the vice president of common fucking sense, I will make sure I take it very seriously, Adam Silver, and I will make sure it's completely correct. Patty Mills MVP next year. He might not play, but still. Maybe we should expand the voting and local media only get half votes. Because you know it was probably that lunatic in Charlotte who's like, oh, Brandon Miller! And like Chet Holmgren's out there on like the fucking 1 seed OKC, shredding all season. Anyway. But Wemby, did he deserve to win Rookie of the Year? Yes, of course he did. He was fucking incredible. My pick for Chet Holmgren all season was simply about the idea that I didn't expect Wemby to stay healthy and the Spurs not to somehow like go, fuck it. We're going to sit you for the last 15 games just to be careful. They didn't. It was kind of cool. So he had an historical fucking rookie season. He deserved to win Rookie of the Year. I'm going to get to that again in a second. And then finally, Outback Takehouse. It's Tuesday at Outback. You know what that means? Oh, yeah. The dog. He dug up something in the backyard this morning, I'll tell you what. I don't know when he killed it, but it was like he made his own hungy, just without cooking the bloody thing. Still, that dug up wombat goes great on the spit. So we've spitted the wombat, boom, off it goes. It's a flame-grilled wombat only at Outback. And today's flame-grilled take is this officiating and then what we're seeing in Minnesota versus Denver is Adam Silver just being the ultimate puppet master with his media rights deal almost up. Because on one hand, you're manufacturing the New York Knicks versus the Boston Celtics in an Eastern Conference Finals. That is a ratings bonanza. But the even more insidious, evil, Darth Sidious bullshit is Adam Silver going, we're going to kill off the Nikola Jokic era. We're going to get Ant-Man his first title and turn him into MJ and win back American hearts. Only at Outback. I do love this idea that Ant-Man is the great American hero and he's going to kill off the big bad Serbian guy. It's like a fucking Die Hard movie. Where's John McClane when you need him? This is gnarly. Crawling through some vents. Ant-Man's just up there trying to fucking take down Hans Gruber and shit. But replace Hans Gruber with motherfucking Nikola Jokic and away we go. I love it. But yeah, I love this because we're going to get fucking Minnesota maybe in a finals. You got Ant-Man as the face of the fucking NBA all of a sudden. He looks like Michael Jordan. Adam Silver's like, I have my Michael Jordan. We're going to finally be amazing. Because you know that, like, the NBA's like, oh, nah, man, having everyone around the world like basketball is fucking sick. And then Nikola Jokic is like, I like horses more than basketball. Basketball is just a game. I like horses. That is a real man's game. Now he's, what the fuck accent was that, producer? I got no idea. It's just spiraling off. Either way, I do like the idea that we're like New York, Boston, Eastern Conference Finals, Ant-Man, face of the fucking NBA. Just like Michael Jordan was so many moons ago. We are so old. All right. Andrew Gay's Great Mumber Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Once I remember where the fucking button is. Good job, me. Keep talking, Jim, while you find your button. Keep talking, Jim, while you find this one.
Andrew Gay's Great Mumba.
Excellence. That's right. It's a bit of the old Andrew Gay's Great Mumber Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. It's Victor Wembanyama. So Jalen Brunson, though, look, 4 straight playoff games, 40 points or whatever it was. Like, it's just, the dude is incredible, right? Wembanyama, meanwhile, in 71 games, he averaged the 21.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 3.6 blocks, and 1.2 steals. The last player to average a 20-10 3-3 was Shaq. Not as a rookie, but when he won the fucking MVP in 2000. That's fucked. Like, that's incredible. Wemby also became the second rookie in NBA history to lead the league in blocks. The other one, Manute Bol. Love that. Love Manute Bol. Then Wemby also was the first one to have 250 blocks in a season since Alonzo Mourning and Shaq did it back in 93. And the 4.5 that he averaged per game after the All-Star break were the most ever since Dikembe Mutombo back in 1994. He's also the first player in league history to reach 1,500 points, 700 rebounds, 250 assists, 250 blocks, 100 3-pointers, 55 cheeseburgers, 55 Cokes, 55 pizzas, and away we go. Amazing gear in a season. Brunson is just fucking stupid, though. The 43 points, just... He's had 210 points in his last 5 games. That's the most over a 5-game span in the playoffs since Michael Jordan in 1993. Yeah, he can play a bit. The other last 2 players to have 4 straight 40-point games in a postseason, Michael Jordan and Jalen Brunson. It's literally just like, just keep saying Michael Jordan and Jalen Brunson in the same sentence and you're getting the fucking vibe, right? It's just, he's dropped 43-6, 41-12, 40-6, 47-10, and 39-13 in his last 5 games. Learn how to count, Jim. That's fucking stupid. All right. Time for the Patty Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. I still don't have the song on here properly. So we'll just do this one again. It's where Jim looks at his phone. Baller Pat, let's go. Where did it go? It just disappeared. Oh, God, that's annoying. Let's go. Oh, it's also nice to see Luke Travers on his way in an airport lounge. Wonder where he's going to go. Cleveland still have his rights, don't they? Here's Patty Mills, Afrofuture, loveracing.world. So he's out there in Miami living it up during the Grand Prix over the weekend. Oh, and literally there's a picture of a car. Oh, that's fucking good. Then there's a couple of ladies DJing. Only one of them's wearing a top. Sure. There's more. This looks like the worst party I've not been to. Oh, God. Hey, homie, did you see this? I'm just going to pitch this one to the producer. Did you see the Miami GP fucking in the luxury box, the prices and shit, the food? You had to pay $1,000 to get into the fucking thing first. And like a lobster roll was like $250 and shit. The wings were like $190. I don't care how good the fucking wings are. There is no wing in this world worth $190. Do you know how many wings you can get for $190 at the place around the corner from my old apartment? Like, basically a fucking entire year's worth. Like, oh, and there's a picture of Patty and the missus as well. And then just like, yeah. I've been to enough industry parties in my time from when I was a music journalist. You sort of look around and if it's not packed, you're like, yeah, that would have been Like you can hear like the reverberations off the concrete of like the horrible DJs and shit. You're like, I'm getting tinnitus and I'm having a fucking shit time. Anyway, let's do some game previews for tomorrow. Game previews and a series preview. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? I'd be better if the squids would fucking sleep in. Series preview, Cleveland, Boston. I already sort of did this one yesterday. 4-1. I'm going to take Boston. I think the Cavs at least have one game where Donnie Mitchell goes off and it all sort of just clicks, whether it be Darius Garland, Evan Mobley. But I feel like the length of Cleveland will get the Celtics once at least. But what we saw from Boston in dismantling Miami, whereas Cleveland, it took all they fucking could to like score enough to get by an Orlando Magic team that doesn't have a point guard. So I don't feel wildly confident about Cleveland and their chances. I think Boston run right over the top of them. Give me 4-1. I think the Cavs at least sneak out a gentleman's sweep. Then Dallas OKC. This series is just absolutely brutal. Dallas's defense on one hand has been awesome since the All-Star break. Happy days. OKC's defense has been fucking fantastic all season. And their offense is really good. They've got SGA, they've got J-Dub, they've got Gids, they've got Chet Holmgren. They've got a bloke that you can just go, can you try to slow down Luka? And he's like, oh yeah, fucking sure. And he might just do it. Put him in the torture chamber. That's right. Lugan's Dort. Let's fucking go. We need more Dort number plates. Repeat, more Dort number plates. The torture chamber, J-Dub, to be able to switch between those dudes, just go, oh, have we got someone big to put on the big Slovenian? Yes, we do. Even Giddy in a pinch. SGA up against like Kyrie, sure. That's going to be a weird one, but you've also got length everywhere on the perimeter of OKC. I think they get this done against Dallas. I think it's also a really fucking awesome matchup. Give me 4-2 OKC. I think they get it done. But it wouldn't be a giant surprise if Dallas actually won this. Because if they punk them in one of these first two games in OKC, you could actually finally see that youth coming out of the Thunder and just going, oh, how do we do this if we're actually getting our asses handed to us? And Dallas have like that weird sort of nasty vibe about them sometimes, where if Luka and Kyrie get on a roll, you're like, ooh, there is no way to stop this. Like the Clippers should have been the ideal team to go, well, we can stop this, but they cooked it, and Kawhi doesn't play for the Clippers when it matters, seemingly. Hey, Kawhi, what's wrong? I'm not fucking telling you anything. Kawhi, we're your fucking, like, you work with us. You're part of a team. I don't fucking care. I'm not telling you anything. Hey, Kawhi, look, just in your exit interview, do you want to tell us if you're going to play next year? No. Like, that's the Kawhi experience. It's fucked. Anyway, give me OKC 4-2 because I just think they can do enough on defense to slow down Luka and Kyrie. And on the other side, their offense is like wildly potent. So I'll take OKC 4-2. But at the same time, when we do the game one previews for tomorrow, Cleveland to Boston, we're still going Boston minus 11.5. I don't feel great about this one, but my first initial thought was Cleveland plus 11.5 for the simple idea that you have a team that was just in the nuts and guts of a series. Game 7, they've just rock fights, left, right, and center. It's awesome. It wasn't that awesome. But Boston, a little bit of extra time off, no extreme zinger meal. They might just get like punched in the mouth a little bit by the Cleveland Cavaliers and the length and just like Donnie Mitchell, Darius Garland. And it's like, oh shit. Boston are like, this is pretty fucking opposite to the horrible Miami Heat team we just shit pumped. And Cleveland sort of put up a bit of a fight. I think I've just talked myself into that one, homie. That's pretty good. Let's go Cleveland plus 11.5. Look, Boston should smash them. But I think it might take Boston a little bit to get acclimatized to this series. I mean, we saw it, game 1, they won by 20 against the Heat. The next one was by 14. Cleveland, if Jarrett go-the-throw Allen plays, maybe the size will be a little bit too much for Boston to handle, but they should be a little bit too good. I'll still take Cleveland plus 11.5 though in this one. And then Dallas OKC. The line is 3.5 for game 1. I'm going to go OKC minus 3.5. I think Dallas, that Clippers series, OKC have just been fucking chilling out for like a week. Just going, this is great. How good is it having a break in the middle of the playoffs? I think they're going to have a really hard time containing SGA and the sort of combo of like all that OKC shooting. I think OKC win this. And I think they just do it. in a pretty close one. Give me 4 points, which means OKC cover the -3.5 lines. I'm going to go Cleveland plus 11.5, OKC -3.5. Amazingly, I've just talked myself into the exact opposite of what I had thought out yesterday and written down. So, because like you can see the case for Dallas, right? Luka, Kyrie, they've been there, done it all before. OKC are like, cool, we're at home. This is great. Playoffs, second round. We've never been here before. Oh, God, what's this? And the Mavs are just fucking nasty, long. But they don't have Dwight Powell. You've got D-Live. You've got Gafford to throw at Chet. Maybe you slow him down a bit. J-Dub versus PJ Hamilton, Washington. I just think OKC have probably got a little bit more, especially in game one. But I might take Dallas in game two. They might figure some shit out. But either way, there you go. What an awesome pair of games this will be tomorrow. I cannot bloody wait. I'll tell you that much. And we'll be here to wrap it all up for you tomorrow. That's right, because we'll be back on deck tomorrow. In the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey IG, all across all the socials, even TikTok now as well. Doing the NBA Straya drop-off playoff picks every morning. Dropping the squids off at daycare and school. Chuck the phone in my face. Any other late updates, etc., etc., etc. I chuck them in there. Make my final pick, so it's pretty good. Get around NFL Australia as well with myself and Gaz, but get around the AFL Today show. Got some guests on this week. It's an absolute cracking show if you like your Aussie rules footy. Get around Cricket Today podcast. That is going great guns with the IPL right now too, and the Football Today podcast, because all things EPL and fucking Champions League and shit, the Matildas, it's all happening too. A lot going on. And hold all tickets if you like your GGs. Chuck us a rating review on your podcast app for all of those. What is it? Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all that good shit. Whatever app you use on your weird Android phones, I don't know what any of them are, but go nuts. I ask for so little on NBA Australia. Just rate and review it, would you? Come on. If you haven't done that, you're literally taking the piss. Get around NBAaustralia.com/shop, get your merch. And a big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. So do House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sex Today, Green, and Dozers for all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them on Bandcamp, True Day and Earth, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. NBA Australia supports Australian bands. So should you. All right, that'll do for today. One awesome game, one shit game that posed a lot of questions. Denver are in a lot of fucking trouble. This is going to be a sick playoffs if that happens, I'll tell you. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would you? And later, who's it now?